All right, let's go over lesson 6. And we're going to talk about composite figures, finding the area of a composite figure. Now, the thing you need to know about a composite figure is it's two or more two-dimensional figures. So you might have like a square and a triangle put together, okay? And that's the example they have here. Like right here is a square, and right here is a triangle. And you can find the area of each of those because we know the formula, and then you put it together, and then you get the total area of that composite figure. Okay, let's do some examples here. Okay, so find the area of the figure to the right. So we're looking at this figure right here, and we have a couple things. If I draw a line right here, well, it's not very straight, but it's pretty good. You see. Now you see I have a rectangle here and a triangle here. Now all I have to do is find the area of the rectangle and the area of the triangle and then put them together. So this rectangle right here, based on these dimensions, it's 6 by 10. So length times width equals 60. And then this triangle, it looks like it's 4 inches. The height is 4 inches, and the base is 4 inches, because if this is 10 inches and this to here is 6, so this has to be 4 right here. This little part right here, 4. Okay? So it's base times height. I'm going to say 4 times 4, and then divide that by 2. So it's 16 divided by 2 equals 8, which is what they got here. So if I put the 60, this one, and the 8 together, it gets me a total of 68 square inches. Okay? Composite I like, kind of fun. You find your shapes, you find the area. So this one, I'm going to put a line right here. And I know I have a rectangle, and this rectangle right here is 12 by 4, which is 48 feet squared. Now I just got to find what this little triangle is here. Now this whole side is 10 feet, but if this is 4, it leaves 6 left. Okay? So my triangle is 6 feet. Now if this right here is 8 and this is 12, then this little section here must be 4. Okay, so now I have the base and the height. It is base times height divided by 2. So that's 24 divided by 2 equals 12 feet squared. So my rectangle is here, my little triangle is here. I put 48 and 12 together, and it gets me 60 feet squared. All right. Let's erase some of this because I want to be able to do this next one. You just got to see what shapes you have. And this one, I'm going to put a line from here to here, because then I have this square, which is a 7 by 7 square, and I have this trapezoid, which is 3 here by 7 by 5, and I can figure both of them out. Let me do the square first because that's the easiest. 7 times 7 is 49 meters squared. And now the trapezoid is the height, which is 3 times my 2 bases, 5 plus 7, and then I divide that by 2. So 5 plus 7 is 12 times 3 divided by 2. 12 times 3 is 36 divided by 2, and that gets me 18. So now I have 49 goes here, and my 18 is in this smaller one. When I add those together, I get 67 meters squared. Okay, so composite, you just draw a line, find your two different figures, and find the area for those two, then add those together. Let's look at an example again here. Find the area of the pool's floor. So, separate the figure into a rectangle and a trapezoid. So what we have here is we do have a rectangle here, but then the pool's floor comes out a little bit here, over, and here. And so what we have here is a trapezoid. Okay? And we know that that is this little thing that I just drew in there is 2 feet. Okay? So let's go with the easiest thing first. Let's do the 28 times 14. 28 times 14 is 392. So the main part of the pool is 392. Now we just got to find this little trapezoid here. So it's 1/2 times the height, which is 2, plus my 2 bases. I have 4 here, and I have 6 here. So 4 plus 6, that equals 10. That's 10. And then when I times that by 2, it's 20, and divided by 2 is 10. So it's 10 more square feet. So when I add those two together, 392 plus 10 gets me 402 square feet. So that's the whole pool. Okay, C, we need to use this figure. And we're gonna, it's a composite figure, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it into 2 shapes. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go like this, a line right here. Now I know that if this whole thing is 20 and this is 14, then this right here is 14 and this is 6. So now I can figure out this trapezoid, and then I can also figure out this rectangle, and then I'll add them together. Let's do the rectangle first. So the rectangle is 14 times 36. 14 times 36 equals, let's see what that does equal. 14 times 36. $504. So this rectangle here is 504 feet squared. Now let's go for the trapezoid. Trapezoid is height, which we established is this 6. Then I got to add my bases. So this whole long thing here is 36, and this other one is 20 plus 20. And then we're going to divide that whole thing by 2. So 36 plus 20 is 56 times 6 divided by 2. Let's go 56 times 6 is going to equal 336 divided by 2. And when we do that, we get 168. So this part here is 168 feet squared. Now we just have to add the two things together. 168 plus the 504 will get us 672 feet squared. That is the square footage of the whole thing. This trapezoid plus this big rectangle. Okay? Find the area of overlapping figures. Okay. So we want to find, there's a square, 12 by 12. This is a 12, oops. This right here is a 12 by 12, and this right here is a 12 by 15. Okay? So let's get the 12 by 12 and the 12 by 15. 12 by 12 is 144. 12 by 15 is 180. So the sum of both of those together is 324. But now we want to get rid of this overlapping part. It can only work for one of them. So we have to figure out what this is. If this is 8 here and this is 15 here, this must be 7 right there. And if this is 6 here, this whole thing is 12. This must be 6. So this little rectangle is 6 times 7, or 42. Now, if we take both this one right here and this one right here, it's 324. And then take away 42, because we don't need both of those, we just need the overlap, which is one time. So we take away 42, we're left with 282. All right. I'm going to show you on this next one to see if this makes sense to you. Okay. There's a lot of overlap. So I want to find the area of this one. Then I'm going to find the area of this one. Then I got to find this one right here. And I'm going to get rid of that one time. So let's start with this red one. It's an 8 by 6. Area equals 6 times 8, and that's 48. So this red one is 48. Okay, let's go to the blue one right here. It's a 6 by 7, and 6 times 7 is 42. So that's 42. Okay, now we add those together. 48 plus 42, that would be, let's see, that's 50, that'd be 90. Okay. But I can't do 90 because I only want one of these overlap things. So now we have to find out what this is right here and get rid of it. So let's see. This is 6. This is 1. So this must be 5 here. This whole thing is 7, and this is 2. So this must be 5 here. So 5 times 5 is 25. This one here is 25. If we take 90 minus 25 equals 65. And that feet squared, that is the area of this composite figure. It overlaps, so, but I don't need the overlap. Okay. All right, let's do this one here. One more example. Charlie and his brother, Matthew, are neighbors in an apartment complex. They share a patio. What is the area of both apartment and the patio? Okay. Oh, so we have 2 apartments. We have Charlie's apartment, and we have Matthew's apartment. Now, if we get the area of both of those rectangles, it's going to include this twice when we only want it once. So then we'll figure out what this area here is and just get rid of it one time. Okay? So, each apartment. 55 by 45. They're both 55 by 45 apartments. So each apartment is 2,475. So there's Matthew's apartment, there's Charlie's apartment. The total is 4,950. But we want to find this patio little thing, and we were able to figure out the numbers of 23 here and 23 here, based on this 32 plus 23 equals 55. So I know this is 23. 23 times 23 is 529. So we need to get rid of that one time. So you take both apartments, subtract one of the gardens, because we don't need two of them, we just have the one that's overlapping, and you get a total square footage of 4,421 square feet. Let's do some guided practice. All right, number 1. The manager of the apartment complex will install new carpeting in a studio apartment. The floor plan is shown at the right. What is the total area that needs to be carpeted? Oh boy, this is kind of hard to see. But it's a composite. And so I think we can figure this out by going like this. I'm going to draw a line right here. That'll leave me a rectangle and a trapezoid. So let's do the rectangle first. And this is the rectangle. It's 25 by 10. 25 by 10 equals 250. Now let's do this little trapezoid here that goes all the way here and then this way. Now we see that the height from here to here is this 5 feet. So it's 5 times my two bases, the 25 plus this other base is 12, and then I'm going to divide that in half. Okay, 25 by 12 is 37 times 5 divided by 2. So let's do 37 times 5. And when I do that, I get 185 divided by 2, and that's going to get me 92.5. Now when I add this together with this together, it'll give me my total of what I need to be carpeting. So 250 plus 92.5. It's going to be 0.5. 0 plus 2 is 2. 9 plus 5 is 14. 2 plus 1 is 3. So it's 342.5 feet squared. That's what I need to carpet this composite figure over there. Okay? I'm going to get rid of this. Come on down over here and see what number 2 is, because we're just going to do this one too. Okay, so we want to find the area of the weight room, the dance studio, and the locker room. But we only need the locker room one time. So we're going to take one of those away. First, we have to find the weight room. The weight room is a 28 by 30. Okay, 28 by 30. So all we have to do is do 28 times 30. And when I do 28 times 30, I get 840. Now the dance studio is 33. Oops, let me do that in blue. 33 by 42. So 33 times 42. 33 times 42 equals 1,386. Okay? Now, this 1,386 includes the locker room. This 840 also includes the locker room. We only need the locker room one time. So let's figure out what the locker room is and take that away from the combined. Okay? But you know what? Let's first combine them. oops, let's erase that and do it right to begin with. 1386 plus 840. It's going to be 6, 2, carry my 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put my 1 there. Okay, so it's going to be 2,226. But we got to figure out what this locker room is and just take it away one time. Boy, if this is 14 and this is 28, this must be 14, because 14 plus 14 equals 28. Okay. Now, this whole thing is, let's see, 42. But let's go this way. This one is 16 right here, and this is 30. So this must be something plus 16 to get me all the way to 30, which is 14. And this must be 14 then. So this is a square. So we need to figure out what 14 times 14 is. And when we do that, 196, that's the locker room. So let's take 2226 minus 196. And that gets me 6 minus 6 is 0. I gotta borrow from here. That becomes 12 minus 9 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. And I get a 2. 2,030 feet squared. Okay. Let's keep working at this. If you have any questions, let me know.